Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Lee. Carmelo Anthony is probably one of the most controversial players in the NBA. Like almost all NBA players, he has a pretty loyal fan base who still believes he is one of the best players in the NBA. And not like just one of the best players, but like one of the best players in the NBA. That still believes he's on the upper tier of players in the NBA. Then there are those who know he isn't quite what he used to be, but still acknowledge him as one of the best scorers the NBA has ever seen, just on the downward path in his career. He might not be on the same level as LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Jimmy Butler, Anthony Davis, players like that, but his name still holds as much value as anyone else's in the NBA. And then there are the group of people that just hate Carmelo Anthony for whatever reason. People who just don't like Carmelo Anthony and never did. I happen to be one of the people in the second group of people when it comes to Carmelo Anthony. I know he's one of the best scorers the NBA has ever seen, and it's also like he's not to the point where he still can't go out there and get buckets, but he's on his way down. And of course, I don't think Carmelo Anthony can any longer be the first option on a championship team. He's no longer the type of player you can build a championship team around. And if there's one thing that I ever agreed with Phil Jackson on during his time leading the New York Knicks, it was the fact that Carmelo Anthony kinda needed to go and that they couldn't build around Carmelo Anthony any longer. So Carmelo Anthony needed to be traded. He went around trying to trade him in the wrong way, but he had good intentions, I guess. Speaking of trading Carmelo, or trading for Carmelo, right now the only team the Knicks can possibly trade him to would be the Houston Rockets. We all know Carmelo Anthony has one of those no trade clause things. He can veto any trade that he doesn't like, and he said the only place he would lift his no trade clause for would be the Houston Rockets and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland Cavaliers are out the window. They are a financial mess and can't trade for Carmelo. So once again, that leaves us with the Houston Rockets. And early this summer, before free agency even started, the Houston Rockets pulled off a blockbuster trade to land Chris Paul. Right after that, there were talks about them going after either Paul George or Carmelo Anthony. We all know that they lost out on the Paul George sweepstakes to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So like we all expected, a report came out a couple days ago saying that they shifted their attention back to Carmelo Anthony and that the two sides have resumed trade talks. Carmelo Anthony playing alongside Chris Paul and James Harden could be pretty deadly. And in my mind, the trade has already happened. I'm not the only person that feels this way. Nene Hilario just got re-signed by the Houston Rockets not too long ago, and he is apparently really looking forward to playing alongside Carmelo Anthony, as he released this Instagram post yesterday, but then immediately deleted it like a minute later. Wow, he will look great on this uniform, and I can't wait to get back on old time like in Denver with him. Do you guys remember YouTube? Alright, so apart from learning that Nana uses way too many emojis and very well could have been drunk when making this post, what's with the random capital G and great on this uniform? Back on old time, what's with the random capital T and time? Did you guys remember? So unless that was the alcohol talking, he very much believes that Carmelo Anthony, according to that post, will wind up in a Houston Rockets jersey this year. And it's not only me and Nene that believe that too. Another player for the Rockets, Chris Paul, also gave a pretty interesting response yesterday to whether or not he thinks Carmelo Anthony will play for the Rockets next year. When asked about it, he said this: "Man, sit back and wait." Sit back and wait, he said. Sit back and wait. That is an interesting choice of words there. Not we'll see, not I don't know, not anything like that, but sit back and wait. Sit back and wait for what? For the trade to go down so it can be official? I mean, well, couldn't this also mean sit back and wait to see if anything happens? I mean, it could, but still. I think that he, just like a bunch of other people, are confident that a deal will get done. See, the overall beauty about this situation for the Houston Rockets is that the New York Knicks have no other choice. They are desperate, beyond desperate, to trade Carmelo Anthony at this point. They have been trying to do this for the past couple of years, ever since they got Kristaps Porzingis. Except Carmelo had that no trade clause, and then the teams he wanted to be traded to really had no interest in trading for him. So really the New York Knicks don't have another choice except to make things work out with Houston right now. Their only other option is a buyout, and I don't think they want to hand Carmelo all that cash up front. That's a lot of money. Just to give up like that. So I think Carmelo to Houston is as good as done. And I already know what some of you are thinking. SDC, do you think this will actually make them good enough to beat the Warriors? SDC, where is the defense on that team with James Harden and Carmelo Anthony? SDC, how are Chris Paul, James Harden, and Carmelo Anthony gonna share the ball? Don't they all need the ball in their hands? And here's my response to those questions. I don't know, and I don't know. But what I do know is this. The Houston Rockets are all in. At this point, it's get all the talent you can possibly get, all the weapons you can possibly get. The NBA right now, if you want to compete, is an arms race. The more weapons you have, the better off you are. And going into the offseason, when you have an MVP caliber player like James Harden, except there is a team out there like the Golden State Warriors, all you can do is pretty much do what the Houston Rockets are doing, trying to get all of the best players they could possibly get. At that point, after you get all the players you can possibly get, all you can do is hope and pray, because that's legit what it's going to take to build a better team than the Warriors right now. So yeah, if you're a Rockets fan right now watching this video, all you can do at this point is sit back and wait and hope for the best. So it's official. The guy who was my favorite player on the Pistons for the past couple of years is now a Laker. He has went over to the enemy team, the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know how I feel about this. Wishing him nothing but the best, but it hurts to see him go. Kentavious Caldwell Pope signed a 1-year, $18 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers this morning. Now, this is a very non-committal deal for both teams. 1 year, $18 million. For KCP, he went into this offseason hoping or expecting to get a max contract from somewhere, especially the Detroit Pistons. He was looking to get like a 5-year, $120 million deal out of the Pistons. That didn't happen. They offered him 5 years, $80 million. He was like, where's my other $40 million? The Pistons like right here in Avery Bradley, and showed KCP the door. And by the time that happened, when he hit unrestricted free agency, most of the other teams had already spent up a large portion of the cash and couldn't offer him a max contract. So in come the Lakers, and they're like, we'll tell you what, we'll give you a year and $18 million. This is the most money you could possibly make this year. For KCP, it gives him a lot of money, and it also gives him more time to prove that he is worth the max contract. He is going to have to kill it in LA this year if he wants to go into next season still hoping to get the max contract. If he doesn't, then I don't think too many teams will be willing to give him that type of money. He'll still get paid because he'll be one of the best two-way players in the NBA, especially for a shooting guard. But if he doesn't show significant progress this year, which I honestly think he will, just knowing my luck as a Pistons fan, I think this will be his breakout year. I don't expect him to get a max deal. As for the Lakers, this is a very no risk, high reward type of move. They had a lot of money left over this summer to spend, so why not give it to a guy who could become something? They didn't want to commit long term to him, especially with all the free agents that will be available next year, but giving him this 1 year, $18 million deal, if he proves that he can become something more than he is right now, if he takes that next step in his game, then that's great. You get to see how he works out with your team and then determine going forward if they want to offer him a larger contract. If he doesn't work out or doesn't show serious progression, then it's whatever. You let him walk away. You didn't really lose anything at all. And looking at the Lakers lineup right now, Lonzo Ball, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, and Brook Lopez, that's a team that, if everything works out right, could contend for a playoff spot in the West. And that's going to lead us to the question of the day. Will Carmelo to Houston happen? If so, do you think that it will work out? How good could they be? Let me know down in the comment section below, but now let's take a look at what you guys said in yesterday's video. And yesterday, after Paul George said that if the Oklahoma City Thunder have a great season and like make the Western Conference Finals or something, he will stay. But if free agents start signing with LA next year, then we know what's going to happen. I asked you guys what you thought and if you think he will stay or go to LA, and here's what you said. I mean, what did you guys expect him to say? He's not gonna say, oh yeah, those rumors are true, I'm going to the Lakers. That would just cause problems with his teammate. Just imagine if Paul George stays in OKC and somehow next year they manage to get rid of Kanter or Adams' contract, and then they get a superstar like DeMarcus Cousins. I'm about 90% sure Paul George is bluffing. He's been pushing for a move to LA for what, like 2 years now? Unless the Thunder pull off a miracle and make the finals, Paul George is a Laker next year, no doubt. I mean, we all know what the Lakers' intentions are next summer is to bring in Paul George and some other guys and to become a contender. This is what they've been setting up for. Even Paul George knows this. So the fact that he said, if this guy or that guy starts coming to LA, then I'm gonna go there. It's like he already knows what's gonna happen and already knows what he's going to do. So if I had to place money on it, I'd put it on Paul George going to LA next year. Then again, if the Thunder can pull off an amazing season, either upset the Warriors or make the conference finals like he says, then at least it will be a little less uncertain. Like I said though, leave your answer for today's question of the day down in the comment section below. But other than that, thank you once again for watching the video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more daily NBA videos. And until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here.